Hello, this is the Cutting Edge Review, and I am your reviewer, and I'm doing the last. Oh my God, I haven't been able to get over this cough, people. So, anyways, but I'm doing the last in the Wolverine films. There's going to be a third one, so it might be the last time we actually see Hugh Jackman play Wolverine because he's still going to play him on X-Men Apocalypse film. But let's get to the movie. It's the last in the Wolverine film. It's called, just simply titled, The Wolverine. You think they could have come up with something a little bit better? Like, I don't know, Wolverine goes to Japan. Wolverine goes to Disneyland. Wolverine goes and hangs out with Barney or something. I don't know. But that's the best they could come up with. But this movie, Logan, he's kind of suffering from the loss of Jean Grey, played by Famke Janssen, and she comes on this movie vividly, though. You might quote me on that. So he's kind of like gone in a hermit stage. He's back in Canada. You know, he looks like Grizzly Adams. He looks like a one of those lumberjacks. He looks like a what do you call it? Like a caveman. And then I guess the character of this little Japanese samurai girl goes up to him and finds him at the bar, and then he finds a reason. See, on this film, they don't really give Wolverine a reason to actually go on to Japan. They don't really give him, like, there's no real reason. He just decided because somebody pissed him off because they shot a bear. They killed a bear in this movie, so he's gonna go avenge the bear. Anyways, he goes to Japan and he meets this strange doctor, and he's actually dying, and he's on some kind of looks like some kind of chemotherapy or something, but it's not actually that. It's some kind of technology because Japanese people, they know how to come up with really good technology, and on this movie, he's lying there, some kind of three-dimensional bed or something, and holding him up with some kind of acupuncture, little needles on the side of his head. That he wants Logan to give him his power to regenerate, because deep down inside, Logan is still suffering from the loss of Jean Grey, like on X-Men: The Last Stand. He has to kill her to save the day on that movie, and he did not deal with the loss. He had to kill her himself to save everybody else from getting killed. He's just trying to hide out. He's balled up in some corner, living in some cave, like I said, straight up like Grizzly Adams, and he he looks like he could have did one of those reality shows about living in the woods with Logan. Anyways, and he goes, basically would rather die. The first opening scene, I love the first opening scene because it shows you when Hiroshima gets bombed in 1945, and that scene alone was just good. It was a really good scene. He becomes his enemy or later on in the film, and they kind of like give you, like, they clue you in on another origin story, kind of like X-Men Origins Wolverine. How he's a soldier. So he's basically, Wolverine's been everywhere. Okay, guys, he's lived for a long time, man. He should look like Alex Trebek by now, but he still looks like young. But because he's regenerating powers, he should, like I said, he should be a relic that Indiana Jones found in some cave or something in Egypt, but he's still alive. And that's basically what the doctor wants. He wants his regenerating powers so he can be young again. And he injects. And then on here we get to see Black Mamba, the lesser known character. You guys probably, I don't even know this character too well myself, but the actress is unknown to me. Pretty much everybody on this movie is unknown to me, and the exception of Famke Janssen coming out here and playing. Kind of like, you guys remember that movie with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore? I think I can still feel you. she kind of plays Ghost. Like you get the notion that in a minute Wolverine's gonna say, no, somebody's gonna tell Wolverine or Logan on this movie. Jean Grey says, "That's for sure." And you know, that's what it kind of feels like. I'm watching Ghost meets X-Men, and from then on, she's kind of like Wolverine's conscience. She kind of like his voice of reason, you know. And you know, he ends up losing his powers, and then there's this really cool scene where he fights the Yakuza, and he has to protect this girl. I think her name is Yukio or something like that. Anyway, and there's there's actually some downtime on this movie. I thought this movie was any X-Men movie is a must see. I don't care if it's done by really bad CGI or something, but any X-Men movie is a must see. And I gotta say, I enjoyed X-Men Origins Wolverine more because there was more going on, more action, right? But a lot of people didn't like that movie, and I personally I give this movie a 7 out of 6, a 6 out of 7 because it was a good movie. It seemed like it was more. They try to go for a more realistic approach. They try to go. There's a lot of novels. If you guys love comic books or whatever, you guys know those nerds that like comic books. If you guys know there's a story, a graphic novel about Wolverine adventures in Japan. You know, going against the Yakuza, going against the samurai. And that basically the doctor he becomes at the end. They don't clue you in on what's going to happen. Basically, okay, I know the Silver Samurai character, and I had no idea. I think the other guy that was in the movie, you know, the guy shooting the arrows and stuff, he could have been Silver Samurai, but instead they decided they wanted to go for the Magneto approach. They get this really old guy to play the Silver Samurai. Doesn't look the part. He's Japanese though, you know, but he doesn't look the part. And like I said, there's some good actors on this movie, you know, and you get to see that guy from Rush Hour. He comes on here. He could have been a Silver Samurai, but for some reason he plays just like a knockoff character. And overall, this movie is good. And the part, you know, because Wolverine's had a lot of different lovers over the years. If you guys, basically, Wolverine's a player. You know, he all kinds of different characters on the comic books. He has whatever, you know, what with, and so he sees the Silver Samurai. The Silver Samurai character is actually a guy in a suit, an adamantium, an impenetrable suit. But on this movie, he's like 20 feet tall for some reason. He looks more like a transformer at the end of the movie. It's like I'm waiting to hear in a minute, you're going to hear Optimus talk and tell him Bumblebee to come and get him because he's too damn big to fight Wolverine anyways. So that basically the director knew that, but he said he wanted to make it more. He wanted to make it more appealing to people, so he decided to upgrade Silver Samurai, make him 20 feet tall, 30 feet tall, and fight Wolverine somehow. Wolverine basically loses his claws on this movie when the Silver Samurai hits him with that sword that's made out of pure adamantium, and the blade lights up, and it looks really cool. Like I said, it's not consistent. Once again, not consistent with the comics. Once again, it's not. I see people reaction at the movies, and they were just like, they're just kind of waiting for the end credits scene to see what's going to happen. And there's an end credit scene that gives you a hint of X-Men Days of Future Past when Logan goes through the metal detector, and then he sees Professor Xavier come up, and then Magneto, and then the whole thing of a jigger thing going, and spoiler going there that they're going to be doing another movie, right? And we all know that. It's like every X-Men movie you could hold on, end credit scene, something's going to happen. It's not like Rush Hour where you see the outtakes. But when an X-Men movie comes out, you want to pay attention to that boring part where you see all the credits rolling in, because you're going to miss something. And that's what I was, me and this other guy, we're just waiting for that to happen. And I hope you guys enjoyed this movie. This movie it might not be for everybody. I liked it. I still went out and bought it. I still enjoy it. But like I said, it's not the best. It is not the best, people. Okay. And this is the Cutting Edge Review.